You know, honestly, it's based on a pretty stringent set of requirements to be a demonstration pilot. You have to have at least 750 fighter or trainer hours in the Air Force, and usually it takes anywhere from 6 to 8 years to attain that much flight time, because it's usually an hour less at a time, and we don't get any credit for taxi time either. So it takes a while to get that many sorties and hours. And then also we try to choose instructor pilots, people that are more experienced within their own career fields. So just on that factor alone, you can see it takes a good amount of time before you can even apply to be on the Thunderbird team. And then from there, they'll select the most qualified individuals from that. For officers, it's a 2-year stint on the team, and then for the enlisted, it's 3 years with the option to go to 4 years if this situation in Manning works out. Well, not very frequently, to be honest, because air shows we can't be supersonic anymore. Back in the day, back in the dawn of the jet age, supersonic was okay at air shows, but for good reason we don't do that anymore. So prior to being on the Thunderbirds, usually about once a sortie, I was supersonic at one point or another. But now being on the team, it's been a good while since I've been supersonic. All of the demonstration pilots wear G-suits, and actually tomorrow I'll be wearing a newer G-suit. It's called the A-Tags, and it's the G-suit that was initially designed for the F-22, and it's a much improved G-suit design. It gives you much more protection. So yes, we do wear G-suits with the ultimate goal is safety there. So we're able to perform better, not be as fatigued with all the G-forces that we pull during the show, and with the solos, it's quite a bit. It's pretty intense sequence. The jet can do anywhere from -3 to +9. Our target in the show is 7.5 Gs, so we have G available to tighten up a turn or to make any corrections that we need to. So generally we're between 7.5 and 9 Gs during the show. Almost everybody on the team has family at one point or another, and even if they don't, they have, excuse me, the Thunderbird team is a family. And traveling is definitely encouraged. It's not on the Air Force's a dime by any means, but it makes this whole experience even better when you bring your family out on the road and kind of let them partake in some of the activities that you get to partake in and see and do. So it's really a neat experience for the families as well. Anybody on the career, no matter what their career field on the team, they will go back out into the combat air forces and fulfill that same role. So for the aviators, we'll go back to flying our primary fighter if it's not the F-16, and we'll be put back into a role where we're combat rated once again. So it's just meant to be a snapshot in time, a representation of people serving their country. My primary aircraft is the F-15E. I flew that for 5.5 years, and then I flew the F-15C as an aggressor at Nellis Air Force Base for 2 years. So 7.5 years of F-15 time, and then into the F-16 for the Thunderbirds. You know, really for me, the main reason why a lot of us signed up for the military to serve, to be a fighter pilot, was to serve our country, and that notion of service. So we've always taken on the notion that service to our country is putting ourselves in harm's way and being there at a moment's notice, standing guard. So if our nation needs us, we're there to defend it. And on the Thunderbirds, you're not in a combat mission ready state, if you will. Our primary goal is to train to demonstrate the pride, precision, and professionalism of airmen all across the Air Force. So not being the one who gets the phone call when it's time to go, when it's something that you've dreamt of, you know, it's something that keeps you going throughout your whole training pipeline, if you will. It takes a different kind of mindset. You have to look at it like, okay, well, now's my chance to give back to everybody else what I've experienced in the Air Force, and kind of tell the story that I've witnessed as I've gone on in my career. So that's the most difficult thing, is leaving that, standing on the front lines of freedom, to now representing those that stand on the front lines of freedom. Well, you'll be able to tell in the show that most of the show, the number 5 aircraft is upside down, and almost every time I go by Show Center, I'll be upside down. So it's a tradition that started several years back, that there were a lot of pictures being taken with the jets at Show Center, and the 5 aircraft was upside down, but the number was also upside down. So they fixed it. So now when I go by Show Center upside down and you take a picture, you'll be able to tell who it is. Really, to any pilot, no matter, in any situation, no matter whether I'm flying for the Air Force or flying personally, the key to success is adequate preparation. And when pilots get complacent in preparation, whether it's any kind of mission or whether it's just a beautiful day VFR, I'm going to take it around the traffic pattern, that's when things can go wrong. So being prepared at all times for the worst possible scenario is definitely my best advice I could give to any pilot out there.